Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Skits West Side Crime and Music. Today we have a very interesting story, so we'll get straight into it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Okay, so camouflaged figures walking through isolated farmland, a fairly typical sight on prime hunting grounds in New Zealand, but these pictures are anything but run-of-the-mill. It is the first confirmed sighting of a wanted man, Tom Phillips, and his three missing children in nearly 3 years. Their encounter with pig hunters a relief for the children's mother, as proof her children are alive and sparking a free police hunt, the latest chapter and a saga playing out in a remote part of the forest population, 69 people. It's an isolated rural community in what region of New Zealand? It's also the backdrop to the compelling invading police and compelling saga of Tom Phillips, who vanished with his three children, invading police and becoming a modern-day outlaw. The case has gripped New Zealand. Police continue to have concerns for the welfare of these children, who have been missing since December 2021, and almost 3 years after he first disappeared. The questions remain: how has Tom Phillips evaded police for so long, and where is his kids? Kiritihana Beach, just south of Marokoma, is where the story of Phillips and his kids begins. Tom's uncle said this: Tom and his three children, Janaea Phillips, Maverick, Callum Phillips, and Amber Phillips, were last seen by the family late on Saturday afternoon. The family had not been seen for 2 days at the 2 days when the Toyota Hilux was found parked below the tide line at the beach. Being battered by waves, the car keys had been left under the driver's side. This spark quickly became a official point of national concern, sparking an intense and widespread search and rescue efforts. Straight away, the man said it's a decoy. The mum said it's a decoy. You need to be checking in that bush there and that bush there. And they wouldn't listen to her, and their procedure was this: is where their search area, which is around the vehicle, so they didn't look anywhere else. Okay, so I'm just going to play a video, guys. Oh. So. Oh. Play there. So this is a sighting of him and his kids. Did a mistake, sorry guys. I stopped sharing it. Okay, sorry. Here we go. Oh, whoa. Okay, right. That goes in. Okay, and then there goes there, guys.
camouflaged figures walking through isolated farmland, a fairly typical sight on prime hunting grounds in New Zealand. But these pictures are anything but run-of-the-mill.
So I just broke down, like, I can't see their faces, but I can see them walking, and they're all there. It was the best thing ever. It was like Christmas come early. And I really, really, really thought they would be coming home this time. And yet, nothing has come of it.
It is the first confirmed sighting of wanted man Tom Phillips and his 3 missing children in nearly 3 years. Their encounter with pig hunters, a relief for the children's mother as proof her children are alive, and sparking a fresh police hunt. The latest chapter in a saga playing out in a remote part of Aotearoa. This is Marakopa.
Okay, so I continue to keep reading. The search for the family was extensive, but no trace was found. There was concerns that some harm may have come to them, and that it was never considered just they were out camping or anything, and that's why there was a search rescue operation, and it was quite an extensive operation. There was a lot of people on the ground, aerial searches as well. The search was suspended after 12 long days, with authorities believing the family had likely been swept into the sea, but that wasn't the case. After 19 days, Phillips and his 3 kids just turned up at the family farm like nothing had happened. Blown away, very, very happy, but had to after such a long time and being braced for the worst, sort of signing ourselves to the fact we probably will never see them all again. That's just amazing. Philip's sister stated that he had wanted to clear his head and he had been living in a tent 15 kilometres inland from the beach where you had been found. There were court orders in place and he ignored them. Why did he have to take the kids to clear his head? He could have just left them, and he didn't tell anybody, and he deliberately planted that vehicle on the beach to make it look a certain way that was intentional. Their return was met with bittersweet reception, with a cost of the search estimated to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Phillips was charged with wasting police resources, completed their investigation. He was told he was to appear on that. Okay, so, hold on. I'll show you another video, guys. Okay. Oh, what is going on? Right, here we go. Share. And now I can't get on. Okay. Okay, start again. Sorry, guys. Okay, share screen. Yeah. Okay, so uh, no, what the hell? something's happening to my computer. Oh no. Sorry guys, I'm back. Okay, let's try this again, Share screen. Oh, I won't do that. Okay, so YouTube.
Kia ora, good evening. They hid their faces, but they seemed to be healthy and equipped for the bush. That's what a nearly 3 years ago.
Then, a few metres behind, come three smaller figures, also carrying packs.
Kia ora, good evening. They hid their faces, but they seemed to be healthy and equipped for the bush. That's what a 16-year-old thought after meeting the missing Marakopa children. Police say it's the first confirmed sighting of all three since they went missing Waikato nearly 3 years ago. Simon Mercer reports.
First, a man appears, carrying a backpack. Then, a few metres behind, come three smaller figures, also carrying packs. They were spotted last Thursday night at around 6:30 by teenage pig hunters out on a family farm about 3 or 4 kilometres north of Marakopa, who saw the group walking towards the settlement. One of their grandfathers heard all about it.
They were only about 50 metres from them, and they sort of yelled out to them. The first thing they do is put their hand in their pocket and pull out a phone. So he's got some quite clear videos of the three children.
His grandson got as close as around 10 metres and had a brief chat.
He said to them, you know, what are you doing here? Who are you? Does anybody else know you were here? The kid said, only you. And then they just kept walking.
What did he see of the man who was with the children?
They said he had a long beard and he was carrying a gun, so they weren't prepared to test that. All the kids were masked up. They were like, you know, going into the bush for a while, and they were quite sort of bush savvy, I would think.
Police believe the group was missing Marakopa man Tom Phillips and his children, Jada, Maverick and Ember. Police sent 2 helicopters and patrols, but after 3 days failed to locate the group. In December, it'll be 3 years since Tom Phillips disappeared with them, apparently over a custody dispute. In that time, there've been several reported sightings in Waikato. Last year, police charged Tom Phillips with aggravated robbery over an alleged bank hold-up in Te Kuiti. Earlier this year, $80,000. There's been a lot of concern in the community about how healthy the children are. What did your grandson make of how well they looked?
I think he thought that they were actually in quite good health. It's very difficult to tell their physical condition when they're rugged up like they are. But he didn't make any comment that they were aggressive or anything like that.
Police have long believed Tom Phillips has help, and whoever's providing that may well have supported him to disappear again.
Well, Simon joins us now. Kia ora, Simon. There's been discussion today over whether police responded to the sighting in good time. Tell us about that.
Yes, some reports suggest it took police several hours to get there. I put that to them. They said they were alerted around 7 p.m. and had patrols in the area that night, with searches beginning the next morning. Now, I can tell you it's around an hour's drive to Marakopa from the nearest town, Otorohanga, so it was certainly getting dark by the time police arrived. They said they had 2 helicopters used in the search, including the Eagle, which carries night vision equipment, but is normally based in Auckland. Now, police won't give details of when that chopper was deployed for operational security reasons. But police say they do want to reassure the public they have the resources required to respond as needed, and they are still wanting anyone with information to come forward. Wendy.
Tēnā koe. Thanks, Simon. And we have extended versions of Simon's interview with the grandfather of one of the witnesses who spotted the family on TVNZ+. It's on our news page. If you're watching on your smart TV, go to the menu on the left and click the News tab. Kia ora, good evening.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. Okay, right. What are we up to? Okay, so the search for the family was extensive, but no trace was found. They were certain that some harm may have come to them and that there was a search rescue operation, and it is quite this photo marks the moment Tom Phillips disappeared for a second time. It was taken outside the court, a small Waikato town, on January the 12th, 2022. Members of the media were standing outside the court waiting as to where Tom Phillips was due to appear on charges of wasting police time. He failed to appear on that, and warrant to arrest with the issue. It was deja vu. Phillips and the kids were gone again, and everyone in Marokopa was talking about it. Rumours spread like wildfire around the small community, which became the focus of the manhunt. Police believed Tom was getting additional help to survive and evade authorities. The police search area covers a massive chunk of western Waikato, 400 square kilometres of dense bush, caves and sprawling farmland. We get reports of sites from around the country, and they have to follow them all up, because as much as we can say we believe Tom and the children are within a certain area out in the west, you can't discount anything. They even suspected he could be hiding on his family's sprawling farm in Marokopa, 551 hectares of paddock which backed onto native forest and caves. But why was Tom doing this? Right, another video. Hopefully this time it will work. YouTube. Oh, okay. Something went wrong. What did it do if I did that? Okay. I'll just try and get this video. I'll just put it here. And now I can share.
But just begin tonight with a dramatic and emotional appeal from the mother of the 3 missing Cooper children. Calling her just Cat, a video released by police shows the mother pleading for her kids to be returned and describing the actions of their father, Tom Phillips, as child abuse. Simon Mersap has been following this story. He's with us now live. Kia ora, Simon. Was this a surprise?
I think it was. Just a couple of days ago, police were reminding me that the mother did not want to speak to the media, but here we have her talking about what this 2.5 years of being missing might have meant for her children. Here's an excerpt.
Hello world, my name is Kat. I am from Aotearoa, the land of the long white cloud. I'm standing here before you today. Today is Jada's birthday. She is 11. She will be a young woman now and she needs her mother. Ember is asthmatic, as am I, and she needs medical care that cannot be provided.
Pleading for her kids to be returned and describing the actions of their father, Tom Phillips, as child abuse. Simon Mersap has been following this story. He's with us now live. Kia ora, Simon. Was this a surprise?
I think it was. Just a couple of days ago, police were reminding me that the mother did not want to speak to the media, but here we have her speaking directly into the camera, directly to the public, and early on she's talking about what this 2.5 years of being missing might have meant for her children. Here's an excerpt.
Hello world, my name is Kat. I'm from Aotearoa, the land of the long white cloud. I'm standing here before you today, begging you for your help. Today is Jada's birthday. She is 11. She will be a young woman now and she needs her mother. Ember is asthmatic, as am I, and she needs medical care that cannot be provided from the land. And I can only imagine how Maverick is coping with the hand that life has dealt him.
So it's Kat speaking there, fairly emotional in there. But she also talks directly about the father, Tom Phillips.
Yes, she does. You'll recall that the police have said that the children have been his care for 2.5 years now, and they've always said that they suspect others have been helping Tom Phillips look after the children. So in the video, she talks about Tom, and the message seems aimed at those who may be assisting him. Here's a bit of that part of the video.
What Thomas is doing is not okay. It is not okay to divide and conquer. It is not okay to isolate and control. It is child neglect. It is child endangerment. It is child abandonment. It is child abuse. None of this is okay. My babies deserve better.
We are halfway through that reward period of 2 weeks where the police have offered a pretty hefty reward. How significant do you think this timing is?
Yes, it's an $80,000 reward, remember. Well, the police have said in this first week that information has come through from the public. They've also said it's going to take a while to assess it, and there's been no discovery of the children yet. So it would appear that this message is an attempt, perhaps a big push, to take advantage of the second week where the reward is available. Also, remember, there's a possibility of immunity police are offering for anyone who might be committing an offence by helping Tom Phillips. Also worth remembering that he, according to police, he does not have legal custody of these children, and they have warrants out for his arrest for offences like an alleged bank robbery at Te Kuiti last year. But Melissa, I think having been in the district just myself a couple of days ago, it's not hard to find people who still strongly support Tom Phillips. So I think the video tonight very much looks like an attempt to break the resolve of those people.
Thanks very much, Simon. I know you'll stay across the story, and if you want to see the full video, head to our website.
Okay, cool. So, we believe it's all over custody. They know there's been various opinions out there, including the fact it may be co-related, but no, from our point of view, this is straight out about custody of the kids. Tom thinks he's entitled because he thinks he's the be-all and end-all, and nobody can tell him what to do. This is not right at all. They are just little kids. They are innocent. They do not deserve this. They are just pawns in his game, and that's exactly how he's using them. And everyone has opinions about this where people just don't believe he's committed any offences and he's doing what's best for his children. There was a lot of commentary online about Tom, about her, and about your family. She said, it's devastating that these are people that don't know me, that don't know Thomas, and that have never met my babies. How can people be allowed to slander somebody continuously in such a public place? But everything we knew about this case was about to change again. So, let's try and get it right. Oh, no. Oops. Keep pushing that wrong button. Hold on, let's put this a bit more. Okay. Share screen. And put it back down. 2, 3. Share. Okay.
Card Jam Japanese history reports show a Domita wine pack. Don't buy it unless it's cut.
Okay.
News reporter Simon Mersip, who's in Otorohanga. Kia ora, Simon. Bring us up to speed with the latest.
Well, morning, Chris. We're rolling into another day of significant police presence in the district. Police have a mobile base over in Marakopa on the coast with the centre of the inquiry, plus significant other units in the area. Roadblocks are being checked in and out of the settlement. We saw one group of police carrying weapons yesterday. They say that was as a precaution. We've also had reports that police have brought quad bikes into the district, which suggests that if they do get a sighting they want to act on it, they might be able to go off-road and across country to investigate. Also, they are continuing, of course, to analyse and assess various sightings that have been coming to them ever since they announced the reward on Tuesday. We should just perhaps make note of a report that's emerged this morning in another media outlet suggesting a sighting at Okoroire, which is actually an hour in the other direction from Otorohanga, at some hot springs there. We're asking police just to confirm that, but just to put that in some context, it's worth noting that when police announced the reward on Tuesday, at that point they said there had been no confirmed sightings for 2 months.
Wow.
We do know that people often come forward, with lots of what they believe to be genuine sightings, but it doesn't always necessarily pan out that way.
Off the back of that, how does that speak to the significance of this reward that's being offered and immunity, of course? And from your talking to people on the ground, how locals have been reacting?
Yeah, it very much seems 2 layers to what is happening here, Chris. The reward obviously is an incentive to anyone who thinks they may have sighted Tom Phillips and his 3 young children. The offer of potential immunity would appear to be more directly targeted those who are helping him very directly and asking them, well, you may think you're going to get in trouble if you continue to help him, and if you come forward, well, the police are offering those people a potential way out. I think what we also have to bear in mind, though, about that is that Tom Phillips and his children have been missing now for 2.5 years. It would strongly be the case that police suspect with help all through that time. So the people who have been assisting him would appear to be very much on his side. Also bear in mind, he was a man who was, we were told when this first happened, he was well used to surviving in the bush. He knew how to look after himself, and perhaps the kids do too.
All right, thanks very much for the update, Simon. That's our One News reporter, Simon Mersip, live for us in Otarahanga. Right, for an insight on how police will be speaking to those close to Tom Phillips, we're joined by former police negotiator Lance Burdett. Lance, how surprised have you been by these moves by police, by offering the reward and immunity, and the developments we've seen over the last couple of days?
Well, whenever you offer a reward for something like this, it always generates a lot of attention, as it's done now. A headquarters there, a forward operating base. So that has generated a lot of information. So it can be the tipping point for people, but you have to sift out from that real information from people who thought they might have seen somebody. So it's a lot of work for the police now. What they will be doing, they should have that. So the police interview technique called the peace model is based on crisis negotiating. And what it is, it's a conversational style of engaging with people with a bit of empathy to open up new avenues of opportunity. So because it's gone on, the longer these things go on, the harder it is for family, for those that have helped, because you can't do this alone. It makes it more difficult for them to come forward. So with this new conversational style of interviewing, it'll make it a lot easier for people. And that little tipping point also is the immunity from prosecution for those that are actively involved. I mean, you've got to care for these kids.
How cast iron is that immunity? Because can that change depending on the severity of things? And
that's it. And that's the issue. You've got to couch that with there's the law. And you can't just suddenly say, if you come forward, depends on the involvement and
no matter what you've done.
You know, it just because you say sorry, it doesn't expunge it. So it is really about how involved the person was, what their intent. Were they doing it to look after the children, or were they doing it to actively hide the family? So there's all of those sorts of nuances that has to be taken into account.
You talked about the length of time, obviously. How important is it? They've set this 2 weeks for the reward to be valid. How important is it that police get a result in those 2 weeks?
Very important. A reward is done as basically the last step. So they've exhausted everything else they can. They've generated what sounds like very credible information. They'll saturate the area and they'll stay there until that 2 weeks is up, I suggest.
How much pressure does it put on themselves when you consider the resources? They're throwing everything at it. This is the last resort. How important is it that they actually live up to that pressure and deliver now? Because it's been a long time.
There's something, detective inspectors, and I know Andy well, you never like to not win, should I say. So he'll be going hard out. He won't be getting much sleep over the next few days, working very hard, as all the police officers will, to try and have a successful outcome.
How does the pressure change police's approach to the fact that you're obviously throwing everything at it, but you've got to consider the welfare of 3 children as well? You don't want anything drastic to
That's
happen.
the balancing act that you have there. We're going on this big hunt to try and get a success at the end of it, but you've got to be mindful, but this is a family. And the biggest part of that is the children, not so much the father, but the children. So they'll be very mindful of that. And there will be other police staff there ready to take over. They have victim support. They have all of these sorts of support mechanisms that come in should they be successful.
It's going to be, it's been quite a flurry of activity early on. Does that sort of thing continue, or does the more that it die down, does that worry police?
No, the pace will continue because this amount of police resources that they're throwing at this will generate more and more information. And because it's now been such a topical issue for everybody, it's brought it to front of mind. So people will be thinking back, do you know, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think I might have seen. So all of this information will come through. So it's regenerated the investigation as though it's almost fresh.
How difficult is it for police to focus on the credible information versus opportunistic people that are thinking, oh, maybe I might have some information that might lead to some money for me?
A lot of that happens in the interview process. So there'll be some information there that police will know that no one else knows. And that's why you never divulge everything to the media about what's happening. That's, you know, it's frustrating for media to want to know, but you've got to hold it back so that when you are doing interviews, if the person comes up with those 1 or 2 or 3 things that no one else knows about, then you know it's credible.
Yeah, sure. Hey, Lance Burdett, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Really appreciate it.
Interesting. Drinking warm water.
Okay. So carrying on. Okay, so yesterday Waikato police obtained a warrant of arrest for Thomas Callum Phillips in relation to an aggravated robbery. Iniquity from May this year. In September 2023, police charged Phillips in connection to an armed bank robbery. Initially in May, he had an unidentified accomplice believed to be female. In May, we appealed for information after 2 people entered a bank on Rora Street, demanded cash. Both were armed and fled the scene on a black Farm Starley motorbike. During their getaway, a bystander heard Phillips tell his accomplice to pew-pew the gun. As locals attempted to approach them, Phillips was no longer just a man on the run with his children. He was classed as armed, dangerous, and unpredictable. A woman even claimed she saw Phillips and his 3 children soaking in Waikato bush hot pools on June the 2nd. Using a stolen ute, Phillips visited 2 hardware stores to buy supplies. In August 2023, a member of the public recognised and confronted Phillips, leading to an altercation and a car chase between some locals and Phillips. In November, Phillips allegedly stole a quad bike and then broke into a shop with one of his children impured. Despite multiple signs and confrontations with the public, Phillips and his 3 kids remain exclusive. There's been a bit of a change in a police response. He's a concern to us in terms of being a risk to our staff and to the public. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I don't know why it's doing that.
At least we're allowed to.
Meal plan.
I just gotta let this play through. So while it's playing through, I'll just read a bit more of what they got here.
At all.
What are you doing?
That's what I thought too, until I saw my auntie at a family.
What are you doing?
Okay. Yep.
Party. I didn't even.
Well, you playing on the fucking laptop.
Kia ora. Miria Makamu. No gang patches, no branding, no gang gatherings in public. That's what the coalition government is promising to crack down on crime. This morning's announcements are tough talk, but who's going to do the cracking down? In small towns where gang members way outnumber.
Okay. No.
Waikato police have obtained a warrant to arrest Tom Phillips. Phillips has been the subject of an ongoing manhunt after he disappeared with his 3 children, Phillips has been the subject of an ongoing manhunt after he disappeared with his 3 children, Jada, Maverick and Ember, from Marakopa in January last year. Police want to charge Phillips with aggravated robbery, aggravated wounding and unlawfully possessing a firearm. It follows a robbery in May where 2 people entered a bank on Aurora Street in Tikawiti and demanded cash at gunpoint. Police are yet to identify the other person involved.
Okay, so Inspector Phil, crime manager for Waikei District, had this announcement today. We have a $80,000 reward for information leading to the location and safe return of missing children Janeda, Maverick and Amber Phillips. They also offered legal immunity to anyone who may be assisting the Phillips if they can come forward. They received information overnight and set up checkpoints around Maraoka. The next day, there is quite a significant amount of information that our investigators have to now follow up and go through. So there's some piece of information that they are quite excited about, but it's just going to take time. And I'm just hopeful that some of this will lead to the return of the children. Following the announcement of the reward, the mother of the 3 missing children, Kat, made her first public plea in an attempt to get her kids back. She released a video on the 11th birthday of her eldest daughter, Janeda. I am standing here before you today begging you for your help to bring my babies home. They are just innocent children. They do not deserve to be treated this way. They do not deserve the life that is being provided to them right now. The recording was a raw emotional appeal for any scrap of information about Janeda, Maverick and Amber Phillips, the kids who are at the heart of so many questions in this mystery. How are they being cared for and educated in this whirlwind of chaos? What kind of impact will this have on their lives? And when they are eventually found, where will they go? It's been determined that custody now sits with Tamariki, and they have made arrangements for when the children are located as to where they will go. The detective said he would like this to end with the safe return of the children and Tom being arrested. Tom has already shown his mindset, and it's scary because who might potentially get caught in the cross on. Police have to be cautious. I fully understand that what Thomas is doing is not okay. It is not okay to divide and conquer. It is not okay to isolate and control. It is child neglect. It is child endangerment. It is child abandonment. It is child abuse. None of this is okay. My babies deserve better. She continued, I am just a mother standing here in front of the world begging you all to help me bring my babies home. So one last video. Guys. Okay.
Tēnā katoa. Good evening. A woman who came
all across the King Country, from the streets of Otorohanga and Te Kuiti to the remote, all across the King Country.
Police last night issued a warrant to arrest the Marukupa father in relation to the May robbery.
His three children, Jada, Maverick and Ember, are the subject of a custody battle and have not been seen for 20 months. Karen Rutherford has the latest exclusive details.
This woman, who we've agreed not to name, thought she was being a good Samaritan in May when police allege Tom Phillips and a female dropped scores of notes as they fled Te Kuiti's ANZ Bank.
So I had them out, so I just pick up the money and start giving to the lady. While I was giving the money, then I realized that while she bent to take the money from my hand or snatch the money from my hand, then I realized that she was having a gun into her jacket.
What ran through your mind when you saw that?
Then I thought, oh my God, there must be something like, there must be a robbery or something.
Police at a media conference today wouldn't say why all of a sudden they believe the man behind the May heist is missing Marukupa father Tom Phillips.
Well, as soon as we had sufficient evidence to identify him, charges were laid, and that was yesterday.
Charges that include aggravated robbery, aggravated wounding and unlawful possession of a firearm. As the pair allegedly fled the bank, dropping $50, $20 and $5 notes, a super value worker tried to intervene. While he wasn't injured, News Hub understands at least 2 shots were fired as they raced towards their waiting farm bike.
The man yelled, the robber yelled at that girl, I think, that used the gun or fire the gun or something.
Philip's daughter Jada is now 10, Maverick 8 and Ember 7. They haven't been seen since December 2021. The witness believes the female she saw was less than 5 foot tall.
The girl was even shorter than me in the height. The man was a bit taller, but very skinny.
At the moment, we don't know who the second person is involved in that robbery, other than to say they're female.
You don't know, or you're choosing not to divulge
we
at
don't
this
know
point?
who the second person is.
Phillips is a wanted man. He already had a warrant out for failing to appear in court last year on charges of wasting police time following a major search for the family in 2021. This latest warrant is a significant escalation.
Obviously, it is concerning what we're alleging Mr. Phillips has done, and that's why we don't want the public approaching him. But again, any sightings of him or the children, we want them to contact us.
Police won't say whether the cash he allegedly used last month when he was spotted in a stolen ute buying camping gear at Bunnings is linked to the bank hold-up, but they're vocal about their fears for the children.
How have they been educated? What's their health like? How have they been fed? What are they eating? You know, so again, people in the community that may think he's just a good dad doing something for his children, would encourage them to think about this new information.
But on the streets of Te Kuiti,
but I think it's ridiculous that he'll come back for a bank robbery when he's happy out wherever he is. I think that doesn't make sense. They're just trying to pin it on anyone.
We
to find him, right? Otherwise, obviously now everyone's not safe.
Should just leave him alone, you know, because he's not hurting anyone.
No, it is sad that it's come to this, and allegations now about a bank robbery, and you just have to think for Tom, it really is time to come home because this isn't getting any better.
A high-stakes game of cat and mouse in a region that right now is under the wrong kind of spotlight.
Okay, Karen, join.
Okay, thanks for coming, guys. Hope you enjoyed that story of true crime about Tom Phillips, and hopefully one day soon she will have her kids back. Thanks again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.